Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. The story takes place on planet Vegeta, with the same events transpiring with Bardock. Now has he taken over a planet, Bardock was given the ability and a curse to be able to see instances of the future. He knows about Frieza's plan to overthrow planet Vegeta and to completely destroy it. Bardock's team was all gone. As Bardock was nearly killed by Dodoria, Bardock was able to make it back to planet Vegeta and get healed, but then he realizes that the Saiyans are not listening to him. Bardock would then go to his son. The issue with his son is that they couldn't actually sense his battle power. Every time that they tried sensing it, it would instantly explode, and they think there must be a glitch. Maybe he's so weak that the systems can't stand it. It must be a technical error. They didn't have time to look into it, as Bardock would have beaten through them to get his son. Bardock would have then put him into his space pod, as he knows that Frieza has arrived. Frieza has already killed King Vegeta by this point, and Prince Vegeta and the others are off-world. Bardock knows that this will change the future, as Bardock has seen his son fighting Frieza, but something was different about him. He was in this amazing white-haired form and with red eyes. He thinks his son became a Super Saiyan. It must be the only way. Bardock would then bid farewell to his son and then send him off, as Bardock would then battle through all of Frieza's soldiers, and he would then finally see Frieza come out of the top of his spaceship. Bardock would then tell Frieza that he's tired of taking rules from him and that he cannot hold him back anymore. And the Saiyans are not as puppies that can just do whatever they want. This is when Frieza would then slowly raise his finger. Of course, he begins laughing, as Bardock knew what was coming, but Bardock was ready to die, because he knows that this will change the future forever. Bardock would then charge his javelin cannon right in his hand, and he would then throw it at Frieza, telling him to just take all he has. Frieza would then begin laughing, as the small beam in his finger would then grow bigger and bigger and bigger. This is when he then forms a supernova, as Bardock's javelin cannon was instantly absorbed by it. This is when he would throw it right at Bardock, and it would engulf him, plus destroying a good chunk of his men, then hitting planet Vegeta. While Bardock was falling, he then sees his son, as he then smiles, yelling Kakarot one last time, before he was completely destroyed alongside planet Vegeta. Now, how is this version of Son Goku going to be able to hold this beast form? For those of you who don't know what the beast form is, it is a power given to Gohan when he unlocks it, acting more human than he is Saiyan. This power is insanely strong. He was able to go from not being able to beat Cell Max to annihilating him, being able to fight Broly and even his father on Beerus' world. Gohan here has become the strongest in the world, stated by the movie guidelines. This means that this form is in the realms of the Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, and Legendary Power, as it increases your strength higher than anything's ever seen before. And we've only just gotten this form, so we don't know if it's complete or if this form still is very early in its stages of power. We do not know. Can it be updated just like a Super Saiyan power? But there always can be a way to make a form stronger, which I think we'll see Gohan begin doing. Goku would have still met Grandpa Gohan just like the original What If, as Goku would have still fallen and hit his head. This would have made Goku more lighthearted and happy. Now Goku here is a lot stronger, but he's still an infant, as you need to understand, even though this What If is completely out of proportions, I'm going to add at least a little bit of realism in the mix. The fact that Goku does not have full access to the beast form. It is his natural state, but he can't access it yet. But this version of Goku is already different, as his hair already has white streaks in it, compared to just his jet black hair like the original. And whenever he gets upset, Grandpa Gohan can see that his hair rises and starts to grow bigger, and his eyes have always stayed as red pupils, giving Goku a pretty unique look. Goku here would begin his training under Grandpa Gohan, learning how to survive on his own and learning how to train how to be a fighter. This is when Bulma would have still showed up, as Bulma still showed up to of course begin to look for the Dragon Balls for her summer vacation. This is when she would then discover Goku, who has the 4-star Dragon Ball. Now Goku would have still turned into a Great Ape, and in reality, a Great Ape with Beast form, it would have completely obliterated the planet and probably the solar system. But we're just going to say that Grandpa Gohan was able to subdue him in some magical way, like maybe calming him down, but his injuries were too great and he still passed away of the damages. So Goku was all alone for the next couple of years. Once when he meets Bulma, she would try offering to of course get the Dragon Ball, which Goku would instantly deny. Bulma has an idea. Instead, just to bring Goku along, he'd be a good bodyguard, quote unquote. Goku would then agree, and they would begin to go on their journey. They would then meet the turtle, who was actually lost and he couldn't find the ocean. He was getting really thirsty. They would then finally bring him to the ocean and then get him some seawater for him to drink, which he was very thankful. This is when they would meet the legendary Master Roshi. Roshi would have given them the 3-star Dragon Ball and even the Flying Nimbus, which Goku can get back on. Now Goku is very pure-hearted. Even though the Beast form does increase your aggression, Goku is still pure. So the Flying Nimbus would still work, not for Bulma though. Roshi notices the incredible power that Goku possesses within him. He never thought that a power like this was possible. It was almost just like he was looking at a whole sun of power, and this was only scratching the surface of it. Roshi takes a very big interest in Goku, but he'll save it for another time. This is when Goku would have been able to easily defeat Oolong, and they would have been given the 6-star Dragon Ball. Now on their journey, any other bandit or any other person that gets in their way, Goku can easily defeat them. This version of Goku is already way stronger, and if we do get into power levels, it's only going to make the comment section get more irritated, but I'm just going to go off just pure scaling. Goku by this point is already stronger than the levels of Nappa and even early Vegeta, which goes to show that even with basic training, he's already very strong, and to remind you that he's not using his full power, or like 0.1% actually. Because if he does try to use more of his power, it could make his body explode. He could die. He needs to mature and finally grow into an adult where he has his full body and he also gets used to the power and he doesn't kill himself trying to use this ungodly strength. This is when he would have also defeated Yamcha and Puar, and they would decide to secretly follow Goku, Bulma, and Oolong on their quest. Now, this is also a side with Master Roshi would still use the Kamehameha to put out the flames on the Frying Pan Mountain. Now, although they do destroy the castle and the mountain as well, among the debris, they do find the 7-star Dragon Ball. Now, this is when Goku would have actually defeated the Boss Rabbit gang, and he would still sent them to the moon, just like before. Now, Mai and Shu would actually steal the Dragon Balls from Goku and the gang. Now, Pilaf would summon Shenron, and Oolong would still wish for the underwear, and that would happen roughly the same as his gag comedy. Now, Goku, by this point, if you guys remember, he was locked up and put in Pilaf's castle. Now, if this would have follows the same concept of him being locked up, which would not be defeated by the Pilaf gang anyway, Goku would not need to look at the moon to turn into a Great Ape to get out. Goku's power is so high that he can easily use his just pure strength, and he can easily kick out of the wall and completely obliterate it. And he was able to get himself and his friends out. This is when Goku and Krillin would still become Master Roshi's students after finding the lady, aka Launch. Now, Roshi would then move his house to a larger island, and this was part of the events of the Dragon Ball Sleeping Princess in the Devil's Castle. Now, this is when Roshi, Krillin, and Launch would spend the next 3 days, and they were knocked out because they were eating poisonous pufferfish. That would still happen, comedically. Now, this is when the main part happens. Goku and Krillin would then begin their training under Master Roshi. They would then spend 7 months training for the next tournament. Now, mind you as well, Goku's training will be very different from Krillin. When Roshi was testing out how fast they are, how strong they are, Goku easily blitzed past, and it was way faster than Roshi even thought was possible. He couldn't even see Goku move, it was that fast. And Goku was easily able to lift the rock up with just a finger, as it shocked Roshi and Krillin, which is how strong Goku actually was. But Roshi would still train him anyway. While true, he has this incredible power, he doesn't know how to use it properly, as he doesn't really know how to control the life force within him. Now, Master Roshi actually doesn't even have a shell big enough to actually weigh Goku down in any way. He does his very best, though, to teach Goku. But his training will be different. It's not so much as weight training to grow stronger. Goku is strong enough. Roshi's going to do everything he can to teach Goku how to control the raging power that he has within. Use Ki, the abilities. Now, Goku already learned the Kamehameha Wave the first time that he saw it. Now, Goku would also learn other abilities, how to control and how to meditate, to try and tap into more of his power, but it was very difficult, as even when he tried tapping into more of it, it nearly felt like it was going to kill him, as the power was so immense, he couldn't even handle it. Now, this is when the Red Ribbon Army would then begin their quest to go search for the Dragon Balls, as now going back to Krillin and Master Roshi and Goku, they would then leave Kame House to participate in the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, Master Roshi would still take the place of Jackie Chun. Now, in this time around, Goku's placing will be very high. He already wins the tournament without even trying. Even though Roshi has probably kept his training up now being motivated, he has zero chance, I mean literally zero, of beating Goku. And any other opponent that Goku fought, he easily defeated within a single strike, giving them the Saitama treatment from One Punch Man. They have no chance of beating this version of Goku. Roshi would have done meh because Goku was holding back. Roshi would have already gone to his full power, and he already knows how Goku fights because he taught him, but then Goku would then smile once when he gets serious as they test each other first. Goku would then showcase his speed and deliver a powerful headbutt right to Roshi's stomach. This would then send Roshi right into the wall, and he would have been defeated within one strike of a more serious Goku. Now, during the Red Ribbon Army arc, this is when they begin their search for Dragon Balls, and Goku was fighting against them to try and get it. Now, the only difference here is that with Goku being so much stronger, way more durable, way faster, of course, Red Ribbon Army, I feel, would still get the 65-star Dragon Balls, but Goku would easily defeat Colonial Silver and he'll get the Dragon Balls back. And within a single Ki blast, he completely destroyed the White Corp and Muscle Tower. Now, Goku still needs the Dragon Radar to find them. Now, once when Bulma repairs them and fix it, Goku would easily one-shot General Blue. And before this, would he still land in Penguin Village? I would say yes, and he'd probably still meet Ariel, who he would actually fight for fun. And Ariel's a gag character who would actually beat Goku. Now, some people might be confused by that, but Ariel is a gag character created by the legendary Akira Toriyama. Ariel literally has no power scaling, as she's gone from Dragon Ball to being able to easily knock around Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and even surviving a hit from Beerus. She's a very weird character, so her scaling is irrelevant. She's as strong as the plot needs her to be because she's a gag character. So she would have actually been able to beat Goku on her own, which was surprising. This was the first time that Goku's technically lost, and this does humble him a little bit, but Goku's happy that he lost, because now he sees somebody so strong that he can start training and getting ready to get stronger for it. This gives him more motivation to train harder. Now, Mercenary Tao would have still showed up, not to kill General Blue. Goku would have easily defeated Mercenary Tao within a single strike, but I don't think it would have killed him. It would have probably launched him away. Now, they were still at the base of Corn Tower. Now, Oppa and his father were not killed by Mercenary Tao, just like stating before, because Goku had defeated him. Now, Goku would actually reach the top of Corn's tower, and he would actually begin his training. Now, Corn senses how strong Goku was. Now, Goku, within not even 3 days, he'd probably get it in a single day of actual training, as Goku's adaptability is so intense that he can easily learn what Corn has to survive. Goku would easily drink the water, and he would be able to survive. Now, Goku, again, would have went down, and he would have completely obliterated the Red Ribbon Army. Now, the difference here with the Red Ribbon Army is the fact that Goku would have pretty much destroyed most of them, And would Dr. Gero still survive? I would think that he would, because of the fact that Dr. Gero here is still in the behind the scenes. He's still hidden. Goku would have still defeated them similar to how he did before. He might have caused more damage, but Dr. Gero is the main one that survives. And he will return for one day. And in the Fortune Teller Baba Battle Arena, Goku would defeat everybody, even his grandpa Gohan, who he would have been really happy to see him. Now, this is when we're going to cut forward, and this is when Goku would begin his training to run around the world. As he could do this, he would then fight the Plague of Terror, Goku would then meet Master Chin, and he would fight the Sky Dragon. Now, Goku would have easily defeated them, as Goku would then enter the Demon World, and this is when he would have met Tien Shinhan for the first time. Now, Goku would actually swim to the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, where he'd begin his fight with Tien Shinhan. Now, Goku would easily win against Tien Shinhan. He has no chance against this version of Goku. Krillin would have still been killed by Tambourine as Demon King Piccolo appears. Goku seeing his friend dead unlocks more of his anger. This increases his power massively, making him even stronger than before as he's angry, as much as his body can take right now without exploding. Goku would then find Demon King Piccolo, as he already easily killed Tambourine. Once when he crosses paths with Piccolo, Piccolo was easily defeated. Goku would have defeated him within a single strike, completely obliterating him. Now this also means that Piccolo Jr. was not brought back to life, so he's dead. Now this also means that Kami would die in the What If. So for us to keep the Dragon Balls in this What If, I'm going to say that Goku would give him the same treatment, punching a hole right through his stomach. Now, Demon King Piccolo, either way, whether he's barely alive, he would still spit out an egg. And I feel like he might have already done this because of the fact that he also saw how strong Goku was, the fact that even if he had his youth, it wouldn't stop him. So he already has a plan B, and he already spat out an egg for Piccolo Jr. before Goku even showed up. But following this line, when Goku easily defeats him, Kami does not disappear. As now, this is when Goku would then show up to go meet the Lookout, as he would then meet Mr. Popo and Kami. Now, for the next 3 years, he would begin his training. Goku would actually be able to survive going in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and Kami would even join him. Now, while true, Kami's a very old man, and he can't really handle the gravity, he would kind of not be stepping on foot in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. He'll just be in there with Goku to continue training him under a faster time. Now, if you guys remember the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, as soon as you step off the platform, then you're hit with the gravity. So Kami can just sit right there, and he can help Goku train. Goku would get pushed down by the gravity at first. It was 10 times and he was not used to it. But he would very quickly adapt to it and be able to learn how to control the gravity easily within the next day. As it was nothing to him, it would then continue training. Now Kami would never remove his tail, as he never saw Goku turn into the Great Ape and it had problems. Kami also never restored the planet's moon because it was never destroyed. Now, this is when Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, and Chaozu would then climb Korin Tower, and they would begin training, and they would begin to split up and train on their own for the remaining time for the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, this is where we're going to have Goku's training is very intense, as Goku's now doing more meditation. He is keeping his martial arts and power training up, but meditation to use his power more is more intriguing to Kami. Now, this is when Goku, after these 3+ years of training, has now grown much stronger. As the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament would then take place, Goku would then arrive and see his friends after so long. Now Goku would actually look similar. He still has his black hair, but he still has the red pupils. But now being a full-grown man, Bulma thinks he was very handsome. Now, during his adventures, he did still meet Chi-Chi. Goku, even though he is much stronger, he is still the lighthearted Goku that we all know and love. I know that some people don't like Chi-Chi. I don't see a problem with her. Goku here, I think, would have still gotten with Chi-Chi, because he still is childish in heart and not the sharpest tool in the shed. He would have still offered to marry her when that day comes, and Goku thought it was some kind of food, though he didn't really think marriage was a commitment. But once when he actually does fight Chi-Chi, he would have still handled her very similar, as he wasn't even trying to begin with. He would have still knocked her out of the ring, and he would still offer Chi-Chi to marry him, which Chi-Chi would then agree. This is when Piccolo Jr. was watching. Now, Piccolo Jr. has been actually doing a lot more intense training. with the fact that he knows that Goku is very strong. Now, he doesn't even know if he can even touch this version of Beast Goku, but he's still going to try everything he can to try and beat him. This is when Goku would then easily go through everyone in his way. He and Shenhan would have no chance against Goku. Even though he's trained harder, having a goal to surpass, Goku would have easily defeated him. Even with his splitting technique, having 4 of them, Goku would have knocked them out within at least 30 seconds. Now with Piccolo Jr., Goku would have easily defeated him, as unfortunately, even though Demon King Piccolo is very strong, Piccolo Jr. is even stronger than that. Goku's at a whole different level. Now Piccolo Jr. does have something. He's been actually able to learn the special beam cannon way before the Raditz saga. Now this means that once when he throws it right at Goku, it hits his stomach head on. This does destroy his top G, as Goku would rip it off, but there wasn't even a mark on him. This would utterly shock Piccolo, as his power spiked a lot, as Piccolo here has a power level of roughly 400 to 500. With the special beam cannon, it's almost 2,000 to 3,000, and it hit Goku when he was perfectly fine. Goku would then smirk and state that was the most powerful attack I've ever been hit by anyone before. He would then knock out Piccolo, as Kami would have tried killing Piccolo, but then Goku would stop him, as he knows that if Piccolo dies, or Kami dies, then the Dragon Balls disappear. This is when Piccolo would then be spared, as he would then leave. As now cutting forward, a couple more years later, Gohan would have still been born just like before. Now Gohan is not born in beast form, just for people clarifying. Gohan at this point, his potential is even higher than it originally was, but not by a massive margin. His potential is already broken as is. But him having a stronger father figure does actually increase his battle power in general, as Goku here is so much stronger. Gohan by this point, oh yeah, he's definitely stronger. Now within 5 years later, in age 761, this is when Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz were destroying the planet Sheik, as this is when Raditz would then remember that the Earth is in their coordinates, and he would remember about Goku, aka Kakarot. He would then remember that he's his brother and the fact that he might be nearby, and he's gonna just go pick him up, and he would then go try, rescuing his brother in a way. Gohan by this point of training, as he's already still insanely strong, but he's still being smothered by Chi-Chi. Now, Gohan here is already insanely powerful, even for his birth power level. Gohan is already at power levels of 500s easily, though now that he's a grown boy, he didn't really get much training in. But his power level was still roughly 600. And now, of course, he's just a boy, he hasn't really been fully trained yet, still gets scared easily, so he wouldn't really be able to know how to use it. This is when Raditz would still appear, and easily be spared by the farmer with a shotgun, as his power level is even higher than Zeno's at this point. But he would have spared Raditz, and Raditz would then left just like before. Now Raditz would then meet Piccolo about halfway and scare him with his power, as Goku at this point would have been at Kami's house and go meet his friends, Master Roshi and Bulma and the others, as it's been 5 years. They would then meet his son Gohan. Roshi and Krillin would have then sensed just how strong that boy was. Even Piccolo, who was there the whole time, would have been amazed at that boy's battle power, and he hasn't even done full training yet. Now, Gohan would have been playing with the turtle, messing around, as then Raditz would then appear. Raditz would, by this point, just to remind you, he wouldn't actually be able to see Goku's power level. Thought this was, as it was a power level of 600, and he thought it was his brother. It was actually Gohan's power level that he was sensing, just to remind you. Goku's battle power was not being able to be sensed by the scouter because of how high it is. Just to let you guys know, that's how Raditz found them. So, once when Raditz meets up, he would then tap his scouter, but see that his power level says 0, as it can't be sensed, which would confuse him, but he would see that his son has a battle power of 600, which would utterly shock him, as he would then explain to him who he was, that he was a Saiyan from planet Vegeta, and was destroyed by a big asteroid, the fact that they're tyrannical rulers and pirates and so on, and he wants Goku to join him, as he then sees that he does have his tail still, just to remind you, so he's not offended by that. He would then tell him to come join him. Goku would easily decline, as this is when Krillin would then walk up and he would still be smacked into the wall by Raditz. Now by this point in time, he would then try grabbing Gohan. Now he would not try to hit Goku at first because he doesn't know his battle power, but I feel like he would try to use his full speed and hit Goku. Goku would easily catch his elbow, and he would then launch him into the air. Raditz was shocked he was able to catch him at that speed, but he was not too shocked, as he's still holding back. Raditz would then power up to his full strength, and he would charge up a double Sunday, throwing it right at Goku. Goku by this point would then tell him he have one chance to leave, and if he fires that, then he will destroy him. As remember, Goku's beast form is kicking in. He's a bit less merciful. As the fact that he just tried taking his son and he hurt his friend, the beast form was taking over a little bit, making him a bit more menacing, having that deeper voice. As this would then cause Raditz to still consider it, but he would still throw it right at Goku anyway. Goku would then charge up a powerful Ki Blast and throw it, as it would easily overpower the double Sunday, hitting Raditz and completely obliterating him. This would shoot a massive hole through his stomach and chest, as he would then fall to the ground, and he would then tell them about the two Saiyans that are stronger than he is, arriving soon. Now, the Saiyans, would they show up? I feel like Raditz would then tell them that you must be a Super Saiyan, look at your eyes, the red eyes. This would then pique their interest and they would begin heading toward Earth. As now, Bulma would then take a scouter and begin tinkering with it to change it to human language so she can see it, and she can be able to read battle powers. Now, during this time, as we know, this is when Goku originally died. As we now know, the fact that would Gohan still go with Piccolo? I would actually say yes, as Goku would still know the fact that he does need to keep on training, and Piccolo would then actually take Gohan, and he would tell Goku that he's not going to try anything and hurt him at all. The fact that he's going to train him the right way and teach him how to survive, Goku would actually agree and win the Father of the Year mug. Now, Goku agreeing to this, Piccolo would then leave to go train Gohan, as then the roughly 1 year would then pass. Now, just like before, this is when Vegeta and Nappa would then arrive. Now, this means that Goku never trained with King Kai. Now, this means that there is no Kaioken, there's no Spirit Bomb. Now, you could say that Goku could have talked to Kami, and Kami could have told him about a Grand Master in the other side of the other world, but I wouldn't think so yet, as Goku wouldn't be over there. He would probably be training at home, and then he would then soon join Gohan and Piccolo, helping Gohan's power grow even stronger. Now having two teachers to help him, this will increase his power massively. Also give Piccolo more of a break, so Piccolo can actually train more harder too, and Goku's already strong as is. Now once when Vegeta and Nappa would arrive, their saga will end very quickly. Goku never ever shows up late. So, since he never showed up late, none of the Z Fighters actually die, and they wouldn't even be able to use the Saibamen. So, when Nappa would actually come in, Piccolo would actually battle him, and Piccolo would actually be able to defeat Nappa. Though it was a very close fight, Piccolo has gotten a little bit stronger. Just the fact that he was already naturally stronger at the beginning of training, and he also has Goku and a bigger goal, Piccolo's actually grown a lot. He's also mastered his special beam cannon, and that's how he gets Nappa originally, firing one as it would hit Nappa, catching him off guard, and it would kill him. This is when Vegeta would then begin battling, as Goku would then step in and fight him. Now this is when Goku would then showcase the beast form in full sway, in a way, as he can't utilize the full power just yet, as it's so powerful that it's just insanity. But he's going to give it a try and see what happens, as he's never tried it before. Now it could kill him, is what Kami said, but he still wants to try. Goku would then begin powering up. His hair would begin to grow and rise as Vegeta was staring in shock. His scouter already blew up at this point, as Goku would then transform into his full beast mode. Now in terms of power scaling, I'm just going to tell you guys this. We don't know how strong the beast form boosts his power, but Gohan was able to go from being near Super Saiyan Blue level in Mystic to being able to battle people that are in Ultra Instinct, that, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and one-shot almost to Cell Max, who by this point would have given Broly trouble, just for clarification. Goku by this point, in his normal base-ish form, without going full beast, was already stronger than the realm of, I would definitely say, first form Frieza, and even stronger. I would even say second form Frieza. Now, he's at second form Frieza, which is around 1.5 million. Imagine if he went full beast mode. He was only using way less than 1% of his power. Where do you guys think power scaling wise he'll be at? Will he be on the level of Cell, full power? Will he be on the level of Majin Buu? How strong is this version of Goku currently in full power beast form? Let me know in the comment section down below. Vegeta would have been easily defeated by this version of Goku. He would have no chance. Goku would have still spared him, as he doesn't say that Vegeta is full evil. He's being used almost. Vegeta would then get into his space pod and to say that it was a mistake to spare him, and he would then fly off. Now, would Frieza go towards him and do something? I definitely don't think so, because they would never need to go to Planet Namek. They would also never get Dende. Now, this also does mean the fact that none of their friends died and get even the King Kai training too, like Tien and Yamcha and so on. This also means that Piccolo would never fuse with Nail. This also means that Goku would never go unlock Super Saiyan and go fight Frieza on Planet Namek. This means that Frieza is not killed. But for the time being, Frieza does not know about the Dragon Balls. So Vegeta would have still been spared, and I still think he later on he would have probably came back to planet Earth because he has nowhere else to go. After the defeat of the Saiyans, Vegeta, and Nappa, peace was finally restored back on Earth. Now, since the fact that Piccolo never dies, nor most of the Earthlings, this means that they would never have a reason to go to Namek in the first place, to go look for the Dragon Balls, which if people don't know, if Piccolo dies or Kami dies, either way, Dragon Balls on Earth will disappear. This also means that Goku would have never traveled to Planet Namek and fought Lord Frieza, where Goku would have been able to unlock Super Saiyan. This would have also led to Planet Namek being destroyed, but they would have made the new Namek, and we would have also had Gohan and Kun unlocking their potentials, Piccolo also fusing with Nail, we would also have Vegeta dying and coming back, and we would also have Goku traveling to planet Yardrat, where he would learn instant transmission. But none of those events would go happen. After this though, Vegeta would have still left planet Earth just like before, being spared by Goku, though he tells him that he will regret sparing his life. Vegeta would then head to planet Frieza 79, where he would be fully recovered. Now Frieza was never on the search for the Dragon Balls, as he never heard about them before, as originally he heard about them from Raditz and them speaking about the Dragon Balls. That's why Frieza went to Planet Namek in the first place, so he can wish for immortality. Now, since Vegeta was still around, I feel like word would definitely spread around about who defeated him, but I feel like the majority of them wouldn't really care. Because Vegeta's power level, especially considered amongst Frieza's higher rankings, such as the Ginyu Force, even Zarbon and Dodoria are way stronger than him, Frieza would not be concerned at all about it, and he wouldn't even see a reason to go, as even Frieza can't even sense power levels either, so Frieza would never have a reason to go to Earth anyway. Now Vegeta, I feel by this point, he would still try and survive under Frieza, but he has a new motivation now. Vegeta can now sense power levels, and the beating that he got from Goku facing a stronger opponent has actually increased his power. Vegeta's new power level is around 40,000, which is actually very impressive. Now again, he's concealing it because he knows that the scouters can sense him. This is when Vegeta would then go off on his own to begin training. This is when Vegeta would have his own sort of redemption arc. Now, for this remainder of the couple of weeks, Vegeta would have actually landed on planet Yardrat. Out of all the planets, he landed on this one, as he would begin his training here, as he learned from other aliens that Yardratians were actually very skilled in terms of abilities. Vegeta is training how Goku did. He's training smart, as he needs to adapt, and he understands this. He's just been surviving, never needing to really train because of how strong he actually was. This doesn't mean that he did training, but not like how he was working towards like Goku and the other Earthlings have. Once Vegeta would actually land here, he would not take over this planet. He would actually begin learning from them. They were very wary of Vegeta, as they can sense evil within his heart, but they do sense a self of strings attached to him, and that maybe he can be redeemed if they help teach him and show him the way. They would begin training Vegeta under the ways of the Yardrat people, learning to balance his life force and balance his energy and his ki. This would make Vegeta substantially stronger over time, as now mind you, Yardrat training does increase your power by a lot. Vegeta was a very fast learner. Vegeta was even able to use instant transmission on his first try, and he was able to learn all these abilities within a few short days. So Vegeta would spend the next few months training with them, growing many times stronger. And lowballing Vegeta would be disrespectful. Vegeta would also be able to use Spirit Fission to make ki attacks stronger and to also steal or manipulate energy. He would be able to make clones of himself, and he would be able to use the gigantic mode as well to make himself bigger. He would also be able to fully balance his ki. This makes him a much more calm and reasonable person, said by Thor. This would make him many times stronger. Now, Vegeta's original power level when he actually went was around 40,000, which is actually very strong, as he could definitely fight multiple of the Ginyu Force. Especially, he could fight Jace, Birder, or even Recoome pretty evenly. Now, of course, against the likes of Captain Ginyu and so forth, they have no chance, unfortunately. Now, since Vegeta has been training for a few months, he's training with a goal to surpass Kakarot, but to also better himself, as the Ardrat people were helping him see reasoning. Now, Vegeta is still a very prideful man. He's not going to change his goal of being number 1, but Frieza was his biggest threat. So after a few months of training, and using his new key abilities, Vegeta is at bare minimum at least gotten around 50 times stronger. This would then put Vegeta at a battle power of around 2 million. This is when I believe that Vegeta was more than ready to continue fighting. Vegeta would then attack Frieza's empire the smart way. As remember, Vegeta was not tied down by Earthling rules yet, so Vegeta sees a reason to try and take over Frieza's empire. Now this does drastically change the story to a degree. Now, Vegeta wants to become a version of like the new Emperor of the universe, but in his own way. As, does he need an army to prove that he's powerful? Yes and no. Would Vegeta honestly take it? I don't think he would, but at the same time, Vegeta I feel was manipulated in a way by the Ardratian people for good. Not an evil manipulation way, a way that they helped him show that you can use that power for good to help people. So I feel like Vegeta would definitely probably get in touch with some interesting people, and we'll talk about them in a few minutes. Vegeta would then begin his quest. Starting from the bottom, he would get to Planet Frieza 79, where the majority of Frieza's main powerhouses are. In terms of the Ginyu Force, Zarbon and Dodoria would actually be with Frieza at this time. Maybe you could say Dodoria might be there, but Zarbon would definitely be by Frieza's side, as he's his closest right-hand man. Now, you would also have Queen and the others in a pool, but it wouldn't matter, as Vegeta would annihilate every single Frieza soldier in his way. Having a battle power of over 2 million, and the fact that his Spirit Fission can also increase his ki power massively, Vegeta would easily overpower every single person in his way, making him unstoppable. Even when the Ginyu Force does arrive, Vegeta can easily defeat him. And Vegeta's not like Goku. He doesn't hold back to try and get a good fight. He knows to end it quickly. And also how he was trained. The Ardrat people were his first trainers officially. So his first masters, he knows to finish them quickly and to not waste any mercy or time. He would have instantly flown in and easily decapitated Guro just like before. Jace and Birder would have been next, as they would try using their Crimson attack, blending together like the Hurricane mode, but Vegeta would have then caught both of them and then gut punched both of them, killing them. Recoome would have tried to shoot his Ultra Fighting Bomber, but he was way too slow, as Vegeta would then elbow him. Vegeta did all of this in the span of just a few seconds, as all the Ginyu Force members would then fall other than Captain Ginyu, who was utterly shocked. Frieza was on this planet, just to mind you, but now Frieza was of course in his main palace and he was waiting for Vegeta, as he's not going to interfere just yet. Now, during this time as well, Zarbon would also be next to Frieza, as there's no way he's going to fight him. If he's able to defeat the Ginyu Force, what can he do? Captain Ginyu would try to use his Change Now technique, but Vegeta was far too powerful. He would easily deflect this attack, being able to dodge it, being way too fast for him. He would be able to catch up, and then deliver powerful punches to Captain Ginyu, overpowering him, and then with one swift move, he would then stab his hand through his chest, killing Captain Ginyu. Now that Vegeta would then kick down the main doors, he would then walk towards Frieza, as Vegeta by this point, the armor that he does have is actually torn up pretty good. Vegeta now smirks at Frieza, stating that he's been waiting for this moment to kill Frieza and to reclaim this power as his own. Frieza would then clap actually, applauding Vegeta at his new power. It was incredible. But he should have killed him when he had the chance. But now, the chance is all that he needs. Frieza does command his power. He does offer to become his next left-hand man, right next to Zarbon, if he agrees. If he doesn't, then he will die. Of course, Vegeta declines this offer, telling him that he will suffer, and that he's gonna rip his head clean off. Frieza would then laugh and get up on out of his throne, as Zarbon was so terrified, as he would then try to run away and get out of the way, as Frieza was irritated by this. Frieza would then see that he ran off, as Frieza would then begin fighting Vegeta. Frieza would then charge in on his first form and begin attacking Vegeta, but to no avail. Vegeta was far too powerful for this version, as this version of Vegeta, after training, has no real threat. Until Frieza begins to transform. Vegeta knows that he has to have some kind of form, as there's no way this is his full power, he can sense it. Frieza would skip his second transformation, and even his third. As Frieza knows he needs to end this fight, he would then transform into his final form. Now this is when the two begin their matchup. Vegeta is more superior in terms of key abilities, as he's able to use Spirit Fission to absorb Frieza's power and to also redirect his own ki right at him. This is also increasing Vegeta's battle power as well, as he's only growing stronger because of this. Now Frieza was getting very irritated, as the Saiyan was becoming a bit of a nuisance, but Frieza would then give him the honor of death by using 50% of his full power. This is when Frieza began overpowering Vegeta, as Vegeta starting to run out of options. Frieza would then fire a large death ball right at Vegeta, which he was barely able to deflect using all that he learned. Now the top of his Saiyan armor was destroyed, so he only had the spandex pants, with of course the white boots, and then Vegeta would then rip the gloves off of his hands, as he would then nearly cough out blood. As Frieza began laughing, he does commend Vegeta on his efforts. It was truly incredible and quite inspiring, but he has a lot of work to do, and he will now end the Saiyan Empire, and now he will begin by killing the prince where he killed his father first. Vegeta would then hit the ground in anger, as even though all this training that he did, everything that he tried doing, he could not defeat Frieza. He doesn't understand, why can't he defeat him? He then remembers back to what the main Yardrat teacher taught him, and he told them that he has incredible power within him, and that there was a light within him that he needs to harness, a light and a rage to control and balance between one. If he can control the light and the rage within him, he will unlock a power that he's never seen before. This is when Vegeta would then tap into it. His hair would begin changing color, as it would begin flickering into a golden light. Frieza would then stare in shock, as lightning was crashing all around him. Vegeta would then scream, as he would then transform into a Super Saiyan. Vegeta would then look at his hands, seeing his newfound power, as he would then begin laughing, telling Frieza that it's all over now. As Vegeta, his mind believes that he is the legendary Super Saiyan. He would then charge right in at Frieza, overpowering the Emperor, easily outclassing him in every single way. Frieza has no chance against this version of Vegeta as a Super Saiyan, with the abilities that he also has. Frieza was getting desperate, as Frieza would then try to destroy his own planet, but to no avail, as Vegeta would stop it. Vegeta would then charge right in after Frieza, but then he would stop, seeing Frieza starting to bulk up in size. He would then allow Frieza to transform into his full strength, because he wants to defeat Frieza at his absolute best, and he wants to prove that he deserves the title to be the strongest in the universe. Frieza would then laugh and tell him that it was a mistake to let him go to his full strength. Frieza would then fully transform, as he is now using his full power. Vegeta would then get into his stance, as the two would begin clashing back and forth, having a more intense battle than even Super Saiyan Goku and Frieza did in the original timeline. But with Vegeta's Spirit Fission abilities and his more powerful attacks, Frieza will start to waver, as he begins losing stamina, and every single punch that he threw, he was getting weaker and weaker. Vegeta would finally defeat him, knocking Frieza down to his knees, as he wasn't even a challenge for him anymore. Vegeta would then charge up his own special attack he's been building, the Big Bang Attack. He would then tell Frieza to have fun in hell, as he would then fire it, completely obliterating the Emperor, killing Frieza, finally. Now Vegeta by this point has now taken over Frieza's rule in a way. As Vegeta accepts it to a degree, he's not going to be tyrannical. He's going to use this, as he would then actually meet a ship. And this ship would then take him to the Galactic Patrol. Now the Galactic Patrol will actually let Vegeta go, because they did a great service on killing Frieza, who was on their list anyway. As long as he is allowed to rule, but to a certain degree. If Vegeta allows them to protect under the Galactic Patrol, he can keep that. Now Vegeta will then agree, as he now works for the Galactic Patrolmen with the army that he has now under Frieza's Empire. But now you could say that it's now the Saiyan Empire now, as it is owned by Prince Vegeta. Or you could say King Vegeta now. Now with this being said, there's no more pirating of planets, no more slavery, and no more issues between them. It's not tyrannical ruling anymore, as now it's an aim for protection. All the Frieza soldiers who oppose it will also be arrested by the Galactic Patrol immediately, or they would face Vegeta's wrath. Vegeta during this time would then go back to Planet Yardrat and thank his masters for helping him train. Now, he would continue training with them for at least a couple of months, as he needs to keep on learning this power. Now, remind you, remember, Goku was gone for well over a year plus, so a year has passed fully by this point. Vegeta would have actually returned back to planet Earth, as he plans to fight Kakarot again, but to also bring peace. Now, Vegeta is still a very rough man, but he does find peace in it though, and his answers are back on Earth, where he needs to squash more beef and more problems. Now, on his way there, back to planet Earth, where Goku and them are at, Trunks would still arrive from his original timeline. Now, Trunks would be confused as to think that why is Goku not here? He's supposed to be landed by now, and where's Frieza at? He would then look around and he would sense an immensely high battle power nearby. He would then fly off and go meet Son Goku. Now, the two would have a conversation. Trunks would then showcase Super Saiyan to Goku, but he was amazed that Goku looks a little bit different. Now, Goku can suppress the beast form in his body, so Goku does still have the red eyes, but the hair is not all crazy. Now, Trunks would then battle Goku, who would easily block the sword with just his finger, just like before. And he would commend Trunks on how strong he actually was. He didn't even know that was a transformation. As Trunks wants to see what power he has, he can feel it, Goku would then go full beast mode. Now, this is when Vegeta would even sense it heading towards planet Earth, and he was in shock at the power that Goku has. It was way stronger than he was. This would also humble Vegeta, as he would even tell in his own mind that he's definitely the best, and he's definitely number one. So he needs to make this right. Now back to Goku and Trunks. Trunks will then explain that within 3 years' time, 2 androids will appear, stronger than anything they ever known. Now Goku asks him that can he defeat them? As Trunks says, with that power, you most definitely could. But there's a problem. Right before the androids do appear, you start to get health problems and develop a heart virus. And unfortunately, he passed away before he could help anybody out. This would bum Goku out, as he really wished he could have fought them too. They sound really strong. But Trunks would then tell him that he actually has the heart medicine to give him, so once when he starts experiencing symptoms, please take this. Goku would understand, as then Trunks needs to head back. As Trunks would then head back to his time machine and then go back to the future, this is when nearby would be Piccolo. Now Piccolo's been staying nearby as he, well, lives by himself. And Piccolo can hear things from across the whole galaxy, apparently, stated in the movies, but if you want to fit into what-if scenarios, he can hear from dozens of miles away. He heard about the whole conversation, and he would then tell Goku just to spill it. Goku would then explain it a little bit more better in detail to Piccolo, as they need to decide who to tell and who not to tell. Now, this is when we're going to have some changes, as now, over a year later, there's 2 years left and they're continuing to train. Now, mind you, Vegeta is at the halfway point, as it is going to take him within 2 years. He was on the complete other side of the universe, so he is going to be arriving there shortly. Now, after he's here, once when he arrives on planet Earth, Goku would be there waiting for him. As Vegeta would then step out, with a couple dozen Frieza soldiers, he would then tell them all to stand down, and he'll handle this himself. Goku thinks that Vegeta's here to fight, but he doesn't sense any malice in his heart. He doesn't sense that Vegeta's here for a bad reason. Vegeta would then gruff to himself and explain that even though he still has his pride, and the fact that he does want to beat him one day and prove that he is the strongest Saiyan, he does admit that there's no point in fighting him now, because he knows that he has no chance. He felt him across the whole universe transforming into his new power. It's unlike anything he's ever seen. As Vegeta respects Goku's power, Goku would actually tell Vegeta about these androids. Maybe Vegeta can help. He's really powerful. And Vegeta would be surprised to hear this, that a man from the future came. And this is when Vegeta would actually agree. And Vegeta states that when that day comes, his soldiers and men will be here to make sure that maybe they can try and help defeat these androids if it's possible. And Goku asked if maybe he can help in terms of training. Bulma does have a cool idea, as she does looking at wanting to do gravity training. Now, how is this possible? Well, originally in the original scenario is that Goku trained under King Kai. That's how they learned about gravity training. In this scenario, Goku did train in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and he remembers how strong and how powerful the gravity training can be. This does pique Vegeta's interest, as Vegeta would then meet Bulma for the first time. Bulma was honored to meet royalty, and she did find Vegeta pretty cute. Now, her and Yamcha are still a thing in a way, but her and Yamcha are not really working out. But she does feel a strong connection to Vegeta, and it's vice versa. Now, the two would begin talking a lot, becoming very close friends over time. And it would begin to grow into the love relationship that we all know and love, as him and Bulma would then get together. Now, during this time, with his technological help and his power, they would easily be able to make a large gravity machine, as Goku and his friends will begin training in. Goku actually has his own personal one near his home. Now, Chi-Chi was against Gohan training, but with time, I think she would start to agree that let's just train just this one Chi-Chi, I promise. Once when the androids are defeated, then I promise you that Gohan can go to his studies, please. Chi-Chi would be very angry, but she would understand. As now with them together, Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo would then train under gravity. As Vegeta would then stay around on planet Earth, he'll stay at Capsule Corp as it's nice enough for him to stay. He would then continue his training, trying out gravity training for himself. Vegeta being a prodigy as well, he would quickly push himself to be able to use 100, 200, 300 times gravity easily within a year's time. Now, it was the same thing for Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo. This would then make them way stronger than we can even imagine, as especially since Goku now knows about Super Saiyan, he would also ask Vegeta to help Gohan unlock this if it's possible. Now, Vegeta would then come by multiple times, and Gohan would even leave. This is so Goku and Piccolo can really start sparring and fighting, as Piccolo knows that he needs to get as strong as he possibly can. Piccolo knows, as Goku would then speak to him and tell him that maybe you should go fuse back with Kami. You two are only missing half of each other. It's more safer that way too, because either way, if Kami dies, what if the androids know about this and they can use Kami against us? Then how can we use the Dragon Balls? Piccolo would then think about it, as that was a very hard task, but Goku states that we don't have a choice if these androids are as strong as they say we are, and if I do get sick, you and the others might be the only one able to stop them. Piccolo would then agree, as Goku would actually push him to go motivate to go meet Kami. Now, Kami knew that this was coming, and him and Piccolo would then fuse to become one. This would then make Piccolo the Super Namekian, as he was now finally one again. Now, in terms of power scaling, we can't really jump into power levels anymore, but this version of Piccolo is most definitely able to catch up. As you know, before he did get a big power jump from Nail, especially since he trained with Goku for over the past couple of years in gravity training. Let's just say that he definitely is stronger than Android 17 at this point, and Android 18, but not by a massive margin. Now, with Vegeta actually training in the gravity, and he also helped Gohan train as well, he's kind of teaching Gohan how to control the rage that he has. Gohan would be able to unlock Super Saiyan as well, thus making Gohan definitely stronger than Frieza by this point, but not as strong as the androids just yet, but he is very close. Now, once when the time comes, they have a much better team to fight Dr. Gero and Android 19, as we know that 17 and 18 have not come out yet. This is when Dr. Gero and Android 19 would appear. This is when the Earthlings would then appear alongside with the Saiyans, as now they're ready. Goku would then step up first, and he would then begin fighting Android 19, easily overpowering the android, as it wasn't even a competition. But then Goku will begin experiencing the heart complications, but this time around he does not need saving, as before the heart virus could fully take him, he would then use a powerful blast and destroy Android 19. And the blast was so massive that it would then spark up dust everywhere. This will be able to make Dr. Gero think, as he would then use massive ki blasts, making large dust portions across the whole area. Using his non-sensible energy, he would then be able to escape just in time. Piccolo would not be able to find him, and he would be able to escape to his lab. Now, they would begin to search around trying to find it. He would then revive both Android 18 and 17, as now with the androids fully revived, they would then come back and easily kill Dr. Gero in his way. It would also revive Android 16, bringing him back to full power again. Now, Cell is still here, as Cell came from that future timeline, so the original Cell is here. Now, of course, he's still in his first form, wandering around. And with the androids here, Vegeta and Piccolo would then step up to fight each android. Now, the main one that will probably be the most difficult one is Android 16, but he's not fighting yet, as he sees that his main goal is Goku, no one else but Goku. Now, Goku was able to be taken away by Yamcha, as he was still struggling really bad. Even though he does have the beast form, the heart virus, he still got naturally, as we know that a lot of the planet Earthlings also got it too, stated by Future Trunks. So Goku did get to Kami's house, and he was also able to get the heart medicine, recovering. Now, since he was out of commission, Vegeta and Piccolo would then take turns. Vegeta would then fight Android 18, as Piccolo would then fight Android 17. Now, Vegeta would then burst into Super Saiyan, as both of them would continue their match. Vegeta and Piccolo are seemingly equal, so they would begin handling the androids pretty quickly. As Android 18 was shocked with how strong they are, as they do remember Vegeta in their database, but not like this. Vegeta would then quickly overpower the androids, as they have no chance against these versions of Piccolo and Vegeta. Android 16 would then watch, as he was preparing to jump in. As right before he could, this is when Gohan would then meet him and try talking to him. Now, Android 16 would then completely ignore him, as his goal was to stop this threat. He would then jump in and try fighting alongside them. Now, with a powerful foe like Android 16, Piccolo and Vegeta would start to get overwhelmed, and this is where they were actually defeated. But both Android 17 and 18 are actually badly wounded, and alongside Android 16 too, because Piccolo would then use a special beam cannon, hitting Android 16, blowing half of his body off as he then fell defeated. So Android 17 and 18 would then escape on their own, leaving him to die. This is when Gohan would actually save Android 16's life, bringing him to Capsule Corp, where Bulma would quickly shut him down, wondering what to do with him. Gohan asks that he's not truly evil. He loves nature and he's very peaceful, please. Bulma thinks this is a great opportunity to study them, as she would then kind of dissect his CPU and change the Kill Goku mode, making him a free-thinking android. This would then give him a new body, as remember he does have schematics and data, so Bulma was able to actually recreate roughly what Dr. Gero had, and remove the Red Ribbon Army and add the Capsule Corp logo. This would then make Android 16 a part of the good guys, as he would then thank Gohan and begin to kind of go peaceful for a little while, but if they ever need help, he can help them. Now, Vegeta and Piccolo were fully recovered. Trunks has arrived already by this point, and he was shocked with how strong his father was. And he's wondering, he doesn't sense like the original Vegeta was, but again, Trunks didn't know, he was a child. And Piccolo is really strong too, way stronger than he could have imagined. He thinks that these androids are stronger than they were before, but yet they were able to match them. This is when Android 17 and 18 would then go into hiding. Now this is when Vegeta and them would then discover the Hyperion Time Chamber, and they would then begin going in there. Now I feel like Vegeta, after meeting up with Trunks, Vegeta's not as harsh towards him, because Vegeta doesn't even know that he's his son. Now they would then go in there together, actually training. Piccolo would then go on his own, and Goku by this point has fully recovered from the heart virus. Now with Goku actually fully recovered, he would then leave to go fight Cell on his own. Now Cell has already appeared by this point, as Goku has seen the news, saying that there's a monster taking over the other cities. Now Cell was able to find the android, and actually trick them. As remember, there's no Android 16 or Piccolo to try and stop him. So Android 17 and 18, even though they are a little bit stronger, they would still be defeated, as Cell can use a solar flare and absorb Android 17, and then take over Android 18, who is actually in hiding currently. Now Android 18 was hiding in fear, as Goku would then meet up, and Cell was now worried, as he doesn't remember Goku being like this. Goku would easily overpower second form Cell, as it wasn't even a competition. Even a single punch from Goku, when he's being serious, would then blow his arm off, but Cell quickly regenerate it, as Cell was getting terrified. He would then use the solar flare technique on Goku, who was not prepared for it. Goku was then blinded, as Android 18 was then absorbed. Goku would then get serious, as Cell was using his own blindness against him, attacking Goku with everything that he had. Now Goku wasn't really hurt, as Goku, once we regained back his sight, he would then grab his fist and then push Cell back, as Cell by this point is in his perfected form. Cell would then transform even higher, pushing his full power to the limit, showing how strong he was, and Goku admits he was very strong. Goku would then show his full beast form mode, and this would then shock Cell, as Goku would then fly in, delivering a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan version of his own gut punch. This would then make Cell spit out Android 18 and 17, as he only just recently absorbed them a few minutes ago. He would then go back to his first form, and he would then beg as he was getting ready to make himself expand so he can explode. Goku was not wasting any time. He would then charge up a Kamehameha and obliterate Cell. With Android 17 and 18 now conscious, they would then see Goku's raw power. Goku would then turn to them and explain that he'll let them go. But If they ever do an evil act again, he will end them. The androids would then understand and they would then leave. They would then use Shenron, as this is Vegeta's first time seeing it, in amazement, and Krillin would actually make the wish, removing the bombs from the two androids. And they overheard this, and they do appreciate Krillin doing this, but it doesn't mean that they're friends or anything. They would then leave. As we know that over time, Android 17 would definitely become a park ranger, kind of minding his own thing, protecting the animals, probably nearby Master Roshi's home, as Krillin and Android 18 would begin starting to get together, as Krillin's the MVP. Now, with there actually being peace, Vegeta would then prepare to make his leave. And Bulma by this point does have Trunks, even though it was a little bit later. Trunks would have already left to go back to his timeline, just like before. And Trunks was strong enough, by the way, because he went in there with Vegeta. Now, he would then tell Vegeta that he is his son, and Trunks does actually know Force Spirit Fission as well, so Trunks is not completely useless, and he's able to push Super Saiyan even further. So yes, Trunks is actually stronger than he was in the original timeline, going back to his timeline in the future. But Trunks would have easily destroyed the androids and Cell as well, bringing peace to his time. This is when Vegeta would then tell Bulma that he'll make his main capital here on planet Earth then, as he would then bring the majority of his empire to planet Earth, as Capsule Corp and the whole city would actually turn into Vegeta's headquarters. Now the entire city of West City, where Bulma's at, becomes Vegeta's new Empire station, as there was a whole other city made just for the people to move into out of fairness. Now Capsule Corp was now double the size, as Vegeta's unlimited resources of the universe. Bulma would then have more technology, and Android 16 was like a bodyguard for her as well. Vegeta would then continue being with her, as he would continue training, as he wants to have a rematch with Kakarot one day. Goku would never die in this What If, so he would never go to the other world, even learn about Super Saiyan 3 or the Fusion Dance, and he would continue training. Now, this is when he would still use the Gravity Room to continue growing stronger, as now there was finally peace for about 7 years until Evil Magician is now preparing to resurrect an evil Majin. During the 7 years of peace, Goku never died in this What If scenario. Like the original, he sacrificed himself to kill Cell. So Goku would have been able to spend 7 years training Goten and even Gohan as well. This also means that Gohan is not as weak as he was in the original Buu Saga. Gohan has kept his training up, and he's even able to access the likes of Super Saiyan 2 normally. Vegeta has also followed the same way. Vegeta is not as prideful as he was, as he has accepted the fact that Goku's better than him and that he's number one, as he never thought that he would never have the chance to battle him again. Since Vegeta has now kind of grown past this, he's been able to kind of let go of the past and be more of a family man. This also means that he would be spending more time with Trunks as well, and Trunks would even become a little bit stronger too, because Vegeta's not just training solely by himself. Now Goten has definitely seen the biggest power boost in the whole show, since the fact that Goku's around, it wasn't just Chi-Chi just training him. By the time that he was probably around 5 years old, he had a few years of training. Goten was able to transform into a Super Saiyan around the same age, and he was also way stronger than Trunks is because Goku is training him. This also means that Piccolo is also stronger as well, because Piccolo is come by every now and again to help train alongside with Goku, so Piccolo's a little bit stronger himself. Now during the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, things would go roughly the same. Instead, this time Goku would never be having that scene to where he comes back with Baba. Goku would be happy to see his friends after so many years though. Now Vegeta does want to fight him again, as it has been a few years, but it's not as distasteful and mean and spiteful like he was, as he can fight him anytime he really wanted. He just decided that he has a new power that he wants to try out on Goku. Now during this time, the Supreme Kai would show himself, and Piccolo would be too scared to fight him, as he senses that there's something else about him. Even though, this version of Piccolo can actually fight Supreme Kai pretty evenly, since Piccolo's gotten even stronger. Now Gohan would have still gone to high school just like before, and he would have still met Videl, and they would have still started dating. Gohan would have still become the great Saiyaman in a sense, and Gohan would have still seen Videl get nearly beaten to death by Spopovich. Now this is when Gohan would then meet Kibito Kai, who is more of like a servant to the Supreme Kai in a way, but he's his own Kai in his own right, just a lower ranking. Gohan would then transform into a Super Saiyan 2, and he was utterly shocked at the raw power that Gohan actually had. He never knew that a mortal had this much raw strength. Goku was very proud of his son as he was watching on. Gohan has mastered this power. Now this is when Spopovich and Yamu would then take his energy, as This is what they need, as Supreme Kai would still be able to hold Gohan back, as he was just drained of enough energy to where he can do so. They would then follow it all the way back to Babidi's ship. Now this is when they would then go inside of Babidi's ship, and of course there's Yakan and Pui Pui. And they would easily be defeated. Now Goku would not even need to go Super Saiyan because he can't. Goku is technically stuck in the beast form still, so he can't even go. But once when Goku powers up a little bit more, Yakan would then implode from too much power. This is when Babidi was getting terrified. As they were getting closer and closer to his ship, Dabura would then state that to not fear, I will go stop them. Now this is when Dabura would then go meet up with the others and Gohan would go fight Dabura. This is where the biggest change is going to occur, as once when Dabura begins battling Gohan, Gohan even in Super Saiyan is easily able to overpower Dabura without too much of an effort, as Gohan here has kept his training up. But Gohan is actually way stronger than even Majin Buu is by this point, as a Super Saiyan 2. Gohan is way too powerful. Dabura would have been completely destroyed by Gohan. Now once when Fat Buu is born, Goku would offer to go fight Fat Buu as he wants to see what he's like, as he seemed pretty strong. Babidi out of desperation would have also tried to take over Vegeta's mind, but Vegeta would easily overpower the Majin control. Because Vegeta's not as impure-hearted as he was anymore, and he also has no real reason to go battle Goku like that. Since Vegeta only allowed himself to be taken over to surpass Goku, he saw that they got a little bit stronger. But as of course, Vegeta knows that even if he got it, it wouldn't change anything. So Babidi's other plan failed. Now that Majin Buu was born, Babidi was very confident that they were going to win. Goku would then fly up and he'll begin fighting Majin Buu, but he senses that Majin Buu is not all evil, so there's no real need to destroy him. He's just more like a naughty child, he doesn't know any better. Goku would easily overpower Majin Buu, not even having any struggle at all. Now, as Majin Buu would try everything he can, even the Candy Beam, Goku would actually just deflect it and be able to get out of the way. Goku would then tell Majin Buu that he doesn't really need anybody to tell him what to do, and he can be peaceful. As it was a similar talk that he was telling him in the original when he went Super Saiyan 3 against him, this is when Buu would actually turn on Babidi and he would actually kill him, ending the evil little wizard. Majin Buu would then actually go peaceful. Now Vegeta is worried, why would you want to let that monster go? But Goku states that all of us could have stopped him, really. Especially Gohan and him. Now Vegeta, with his techniques and the fact that he's training more, I would definitely say more smart. As he's not as crazy and grumpy as he wasn't training to the death every single day. Being around Goku, Goku has even taught him how to train better. And on top of the fact that Vegeta has masters, so Vegeta's been able to keep up with Gohan and the others. Not as much straight potential as Gohan, but he's able to train very intelligently. And he trains constantly, so he is in the similar realms of power. Now in terms of strength, Piccolo is definitely in 4th place. While Piccolo can keep up with the others, but he would get overpowered. Vegeta in Super Saiyan 2 is relevant and stronger than Piccolo for sure. Gohan is still superior to him in almost every way, maybe not abilities, as of course Vegeta has Spirit Vision. Gohan is definitely in 2nd place. Now Goten is also below Piccolo as well, because again, Piccolo is still way above him, but he's way stronger than he was his original age. And of course, Gohan is 2nd, and Goku's the strongest one currently in the world, for obvious reasons. Now that Majin Buu would have gone on his own, he would have of course been playing around, and of course, this is when Mr. Satan would then befriend him, and him and Bee would then become Buu's new best friends, until an assassin would appear and almost kill Mr. Satan and the dog. This would make Buu snap. He was able to heal them both and save their life, but Buu would then split. All the evil that was within his body would then disperse, thus creating Evil Buu. Now that Evil Buu was created, he would still overpower and defeat the good Majin. And turning him into candy, as he blew his candy beam right back at Majin Buu, he would then eat him and then transform, becoming Super Buu. Goku would then sense this large power spike as he would quickly go fly off and go see what was going on. And this was Super Buu. Super Buu remembers Goku and he wants a rematch, as he wants to fight somebody strong. Goku would immediately accept. As the two would begin fighting back and forth, Goku was still far too powerful. Super Buu quickly realized that he has no chance against this version of Goku. He then thinks outside the box. Goku would accidentally remove some of his tail, or I guess you could say his head antenna, which would then be on the ground nearby. This is when Buu would then use that to go behind Goku and absorb him. Now that Goku was absorbed, but Goku was smart. He used a Ki shield just like how Vegito did, so he wasn't fully absorbed. Majin Buu doesn't really sense any new power, but he thinks maybe it'll take a while to digest it. This is when Vegeta and Gohan would then appear, as Gohan as a Super Saiyan 2 can actually fight Super Buu pretty well and overpower him actually, and if Buu does try to absorb him, then of course we'll get into this. Once when Gohan was actually battling Super Buu, he was getting overpowered. Now Buu would try to absorb him, but Vegeta would help him by firing the Big Bang attack, which would then destroy the Goo wall, so Gohan was free. Now they know what Buu can do, so they would be mindful to watch out. Now this is when Goku would then travel through Buu's body, and he would see that there is Majin Buu right there. And Goku would then go free him by ripping him right off. This would then make Super Buu scream in agony, as he would then become Kid Buu, as Goku would pop out of his body. Now, that's an experience that he never wants to have again, but then he looks up and sees Kid Buu, who would begin screaming and powering up. Goku was shocked at his raw power, as this is when Kid Buu would then raise his hand and try destroying the world. But Goku would appear, grabbing the ball, punching it back out into outer space, as him and Kid Buu would begin their battle. Goku was far stronger than Kid Buu was, but he did admire Kid Buu's random tenacity of fighting. Goku knows not to waste any time, as any more destruction could destroy the whole planet. He would then charge up a full power Kamehameha, and he would then appear right in front of Kid Buu and completely obliterate him. Though he does wish that he will come back as somebody good next time. This also opens up the door for Oob, but we'll get into this one later, as now that Kid Buu was destroyed, the Buu arc was completely like 1/3 cut in half, as again, the Z Fighters are just far too strong for the likes of Majin Buu. Now a few years would pass, Goku would continue his training on planet Earth. It was Bulma's 38th birthday party. Now this is when Lord Beerus would then awaken of a premonition of a mortal that can rival his power, and give him a true fight. He would then learn of a Saiyan named Goku. Whis commends that he's not normal. He has a rare power that he's never seen before. It's not God Ki, but it's something very unique. This perks his interest, and he learns that of course Vegeta's still alive and so on and so forth. Now this is when Beerus would then head right towards planet Earth, as he never went to King Kai because Goku never went there before. So Beerus would then arrive, and first things first, he wants to try out this awesome food. As they'll try and get the Dragon Balls to go search for a Super Saiyan God, but Goku definitely wants to fight him originally first. Beerus wasn't interested at first, as from what he could sense from Goku wasn't impressing him. And not to mention too, Goku's holding back, but also Beerus does not sense any God Ki within him. So he doesn't view Goku as a true rival yet. Now, Bulma does have the Dragon Balls, and they would make the wish of the Super Saiyan God, and this is when he would then explain about the 5 Saiyans, so on and so forth, but Goku wants to fight Beerus normally first. As if Goku loses, then what they can do is try making him a Super Saiyan God. Now, this would pique Beerus' interest, and he'll agree to this. Maybe it'll be more fun. Goku would begin powering up, showing more power than he's ever shown before, shocking everybody else. This would make Beerus happy, as even without God Ki, the mortal is this strong? Goku would then fly in, battling Beerus throughout the sky into outer space. With them trading blows back and forth, Beerus commends the Saiyans on his strength, but he can tell that he's holding back. Goku would laugh and say he's honestly going only about 10% himself. This would make Beerus furious, as he states, "Why are you holding back against me?" And Beerus will change his mind, stating that you will regret even telling me that. Beerus would then increase his speed massively. He would blitz Goku, overpowering him with ease, as Goku would then smile. And Beerus was wondering why he's so happy. Goku then states that throughout his entire life, he's always had to hold back, and he was never able to actually utilize his full power before. He's only used his full power in training, but never against somebody so strong. He thanks Beerus for this, as he has a rare opportunity to cut loose and see what he can actually do. This makes Beerus actually happy as well. Beerus would then explain that it's the same way on his end. The only time he can go all out is only against his teacher, Whis. So he even understands where he's coming from. The feeling of having to hold back, having no thrill of a battle. But now, Beerus wants him to go 100%, and Beerus will give him the honor of giving him his best. Goku would accept this, as for the first time, Goku would then power up to 100% of his beast form. This would shock everyone. At the raw power that Goku was having, it was shaking the entire Universe 7. Even another god of destruction could sense it near. It was Lord Champa. He was sitting at his table eating, and he could sense the power just from that, and it shocked him. As Vados then showed her staff, and then showed that it was Goku powering up. Whis was utterly in awe seeing this strength. He never thought that a mortal could possess this raw power without having any god energy or nothing, just from himself. This power far surpasses even the likes of Jiren. Goku was still powering up. As Beerus' smile was only getting bigger and bigger, this is what he wanted. He said, forget that god essence stuff, this is you'll need it. As Goku has now reached 100%. And yes, Goku can control the power in this form, as he will not lose stamina like how Frieza does when he transforms, because Goku has trained in this on Hyperbolic Time Chamber before, so Goku knows what he's doing. He knows that mistake. This is when Beerus would then power up, showing his God of Destruction form, as he's a bit more bigger in size and his top armor is gone. He now has the purple aura and his eyes are purple as well. Kind of having a similar transformation to God of Destruction Toppo, just not as large, of course. As they would then clash together, trading blows back and forth, it would shake the entire universe. Whis made a massive sphere that he used his own power, which again, he can one-shot both of them with his finger. But of course, he wants to make sure that the universe is protected, as it would kind of define the whole reasoning of fighting in the first place. Whis wants to see them go at it. So Whis uses his own power to make a sphere that is unbreakable. And Whis would then tell them to give everything they got. Fire how many Hakkais you want or any more. Because Whis wants to see this for himself. Goku would trade blows with Beerus back and forth, and Goku was so happy that he could fight somebody like this. Goku was using every technique he had, same with Beerus, as Beerus would then charge a massive Hakkai ball to aim to kill Goku, throwing at him so that no mortals ever survived this. As Goku would then catch the Hakkai ball, he would then scream in more of a primal roar and be able to punch the Hakkai ball back at Beerus, and it would then hit him, making a massive explosion. Goku and Beerus were fighting almost to the death, as both of them dropped out of their power, as they had literally no juice left in the tank. Goku was still more or less in a basish form, but his eyes were still red, and he was badly beaten, even more worse than we've ever seen him before. And it was the same thing with Beerus, as they barely even had the strength to even throw a punch. As Goku and Beerus would then punch back and forth, Goku was still not giving up, as Beerus would then commend him as one last punch, as they then throw it at each other, hitting each other in the face. They would then fall back and actually go unconscious, as it was a draw. Mind you, I'm using the power scaling of Beerus from the manga, so this goes to show you just how strong Goku's actually become. And by the way, he's never gotten any Whis training yet. This is just his own self-training for these years. So, past this point, this is when Whis would then heal them both and bring them back down. They were amazed to see that power that Goku displayed. Beerus was beyond satisfied, and he had highest respect for Goku shaking his hand. This gave him motivation to continue training. And he even offered, as mainly Whis mainly asked, if Whis can actually train him, as his raw potential and power is incredible. And Goku agrees that he really wants to go, but he wonders if his friends can. Gohan actually agrees to stay on Earth, as he knows that maybe he can access a power like his father can, as Gohan will stay and protect Earth alongside Piccolo. Vegeta's definitely coming along, as he tells Kakarot that he's not going to be outmatching too far. He will learn the powers of a god. This is when Goku and Vegeta would then go and train under Whis for the 2-3 years, just like the original. And then Goku would learn how to access God Ki, which it wouldn't really change his form too much. He's still stuck in the beast form. And Goku needs to figure out a way to maybe try and boost his power. And he can. This is when under Whis' tutelage, Goku has learned to combine the beast form with God Ki, making the form even more powerful. The form wouldn't really change in terms of looks, but you could say it would have more of a bluish hue because of the calming essence of God energy. More like a Super Saiyan bluish type aura mixing with the white and the purples and etc. But this would make his form way stronger. But of course, it does have the stamina issue, as remember Goku's natural state is the beast form. And of course, Vegeta would unlock Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. With Vegeta now having new motivation, he would even learn how to unlock Blue Evolution even earlier. Since Whis is utilizing Super Saiyan Blue more solely just on Vegeta than Goku, Goku has his own training. This is when Champa, would he still challenge him to the Universe 7, Universe 6? Yes. The only difference is that he would say that Goku's not allowed to join, which is a big bummer. And Beerus would then really think on it. He would think on it pretty hard, and in return he would state no. As he would then state unless, because that mortal is as strong as I am, What if he wants to fight you instead? So after a bit of bickering, I think that Champa would then agree, as he thinks that Hit might still be able to beat him. Maybe. And this is when the tournament for Universe 7 and Universe 6 would happen. Going pretty much the exact same. Only difference here is that Frost would still get the upper hand on Goku, actually poisoning him and knocking him out, just like before. But he found out that he cheated, so Goku would still be able to get back in. Now, Vegeta would still fight Magetta, Kaba, and then when he does fight Hit, Vegeta actually does a much better job, as he soon starts to figure out Hit's time skip ability. And using Blue Evolution, Vegeta would actually be able to defeat Hit in their match. So Goku was not needed in reality. As Vegeta had Blue Evolution, that's all he needed. Not to mention too, with his abilities like Spirit Fission and stuff, he could start to learn Hit's abilities fast. So since Beerus won, he still wished Champa's world back, just like before. Now we're going to cut forward for the Goku Black arc. What would happen differently? Not much, because the fact that Goku Black is a Goku from the original timeline, it's not going to be a version of Beast Goku, as that would make no sense. This is a what-if timeline, which is derived from other timelines. So Goku Black would still take over Goku's original body, and he would still become very powerful. Now Trunks would still go back to the past, and he would then see his friends, and he would then tell him about Goku Black. Now once when Vegeta and Goku do go battle Goku Black, and we all know that Zamasu wished for mortality, so on and so forth, this is when we're going to be having Goku Black being easily overpowered by Vegeta. And Goku Black would actually be killed. So Zamasu was the only one remaining. Now Goku would have also met Zeno as well during that tournament and still befriended him, so he still has the Zeno button. This is when Goku Black was then annihilated by Vegeta, as he would then fire a Final Flash, killing Goku Black. Which for some Goku Black fans might not like that, but you understand, Vegeta with Blue Evolution, with Spirit Fission and more, is literally overkill. Goku Black had no chance, and even if he was in trouble, Goku would have easily destroyed him with a simple blast. Now Zamasu was immortal, so when Goku was fighting him, every time he hit him, he just kept on coming back and coming back. Now this is when Goku would completely obliterate Zamasu, but he would then come back as Universal Zamasu surrounding the entire planet. Goku would still summon Zeno, and then he would still bring the copy of Zeno to the other universe, giving Zeno a friend like he promised him. After that chaos was finished, Trunks would even stay with Vegeta for a very short time, and even train. As they can use the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, this would then help Trunks actually learn about God Ki. He would actually be able to turn into a Super Saiyan God, and he can learn how to transform on his own. Trunks is very much more powerful enough now, as he would then go back to his future and enjoy it, with Mai and the others. Now this is when we are going to cut forward into the Tournament of Power. Now Goku would still make the demand, as he still wants to fight everybody. The only difference here is that the sight of the Z Fighters are so much stronger than they originally were. Even the Earthlings are a little bit stronger because of motivation. There is no way that the other universes have a chance. So we're going to just jump around the Tournament of Power just to state some of the more memorable fights and how they would be different. First, once when Goku jumps in, Kale and Caulifla would have no chance against Goku. He's just messing around. Frieza, would he be revived? I don't think so. As Beerus thinks that all they need is Goku in them, they would not need to bring Frieza. So Frieza was still in hell, kind of minding his own business. So no, Frieza was not brought back. This is when we're going to mainly have Majin Buu, but he fell asleep. So this means that they're short another person. So who would they bring? They would just bring Gotenks. As, of course, if you guys remember, there's no Metamorian fusion yet, so it's either between Goten and Trunks. Well, they would then think about it, but who was the stronger out of the two? It was actually Goten, so they would actually bring Goten along, just, you know, for fun. He can go have fun fighting other people. Remember, Goten is insanely strong for his age, so don't let that fool you. Now, of course, Kale and Caulifla would have no chance against Goku. This is when Jiren would then step up to go fight Goku first, as Belmod does state that he is the biggest threat. Also, during the pre-tournament, Goku would have easily defeated Toppo, though fortunately Toppo had no chance. Goku would then battle Jiren, and he was commending on Jiren's strength. He was insanely strong. Definitely the second strongest person he's ever fought, other than Beerus. Now, once when Goku begins utilizing one of his full power, Jiren had no chance. Even if Jiren would have unlocked his limit-breaking form, Goku was far too powerful. He would have overpowered Jiren, knocking him out of the ring. And on top of Toppo as well, Gohan and them are way stronger. Now Gohan does not have his mystic form, but with Vegeta's evolution form, he would easily knock out Toppo as well. Now, other than that, you could say about Kefla, Goku would easily knock out Kefla as well, or Gohan in his form Super Saiyan 2, but then this is when Gohan would then showcase something. Gohan would then showcase to Kefla as Gohan was actually getting in trouble. Super Saiyan 2 Kefla was overpowering him until Gohan would begin powering up. He would then showcase his red eyes as Gohan then transformed into Beast Gohan, mirroring his father. And Goku was shocked that Gohan had this strength, but he was also very proud. So Kefla was easily knocked out, and any other fighter has no chance against these characters. So the tournament power would end with the majority of them still here. Also, Android 17 and 18 are still there as well, as they're still, remember, 18 still with Krillin and 17 still the Awesome Ranger. Now with Gohan also being the team leader, Gohan would wish for all the 12 universes to be brought back, so peace was finally brought back. Now, during the Broly movie, it would go kind of similar, but not. As you guys remember, Cheelai and Lemmo would actually meet up with Broly and Paragus, but since there's no Frieza around, Frieza would not have the evil plot to try and set Broly on. Now, Paragus would kind of travel around with Broly for a long time, and they would learn about Vegeta's empire very quickly, as Cheelai and Lemmo actually work for it. Now, this is when they find out about Vegeta's home place, which is Earth. Arriving there, they would then challenge Vegeta, so that's how they were actually able to get there, through Cheelai and Lemmo. But they're not searching for the Dragon Balls. And now this is when, of course, Paragus would then set Broly on Vegeta. Vegeta would easily start to overpower Broly, of course. Even if Broly did transform way more, it wouldn't matter. But Broly would only be able to get up to his Akari form before he was defeated by Vegeta. Because Frieza killed Paragus to make Broly transform further. And even if Broly did, Vegeta in his Blue Evolution form could definitely hold his own, definitely alongside Beast Goku. So Broly would have been defeated. But they decided to spare Broly, and Paragus again would have to surrender, but he would come to terms with it, and Broly would be taken to Beerus' world to come train, as Paragus would remain back on Earth to kind of enjoy the rest of his days. Now Broly would begin his training. This is when we're going to dive into the superhero movie. Now the Red Ribbon Army is still here, Cell Max and the Gammas are still there. Gohan and Piccolo would have still teamed up to fight. Piccolo would have made his wish, thus making Potential Unleashed / Orange Piccolo. Orange Piccolo being much more stronger than he originally was, he would easily overpower the Gammas. Now once when Cell Max appears, Gohan would already be in beast form, so him and Gohan would have easily defeated Cell Max much easier. This actually means that both of the Gammas actually survived. They were not both killed by Cell Max, so both of them are okay, and they're both living together. So Gohan and Piccolo would have easily overpowered it. Now we are going to jump into the Moro arc, where some changes are going to occur, but not. As with the Moro arc, of course, with Gohan, Piccolo, and Goku and Vegeta being so much stronger, Moro would not have no chance. Goku in his beast form being stronger than even Beerus was, doesn't have a chance against the likes of Moro, as Moro was just way too overpowered, and the only thing that made him really powerful was his ability to absorb energy. But Vegeta literally has mastered and learned new abilities of the same thing that can fight back against that, on top of Blue Evolution. Now Vegeta by this point has a new power. Vegeta by this point has definitely unlocked Ultra Ego, as he trains with Beerus now, and Beerus, because Beerus was training a lot more on his own, having the motivation to keep up with Goku. So with that, now imagine a Ultra Ego Vegeta with Force Spirit Fission. Moro has no chance. He would have been defeated and killed before he would absorb the android, and he would have also been pretty much absorbing Beerus and a part of the planet. This means that Beerus also lives, and Beerus would even train Goku a little bit more. Now, we are now going to cut into the final arc, which is going to be the Granola / Gas arc. There's no Black Frieza arc, since Frieza's still pretty much in hell, suffering teddy bears and music. Now, with Granola, he would still make the wish. This would make his lifespan even shorter, kind of like how Gas was, as he was powering up. Now, Vegeta would have been able to easily overpower Granola, as mind you, he's only growing in strength. Goku's been hiding a power as well that was not shown. This is when Goku would then go into his God Essence Beast form, and he would start to fight Granola pretty evenly. Now this is when Goku would then showcase something new, as Goku's eyes would then change. They were still the pupils, but they had a silverish hue to them, as Goku would mix the raw power of the Beast form with the Ultra Instinct ability. He's been training with this for Whis for years now, and Beerus has been helping. It was very hard. because the beast form is very wild and rambunctious power, but blending the two is a perfect mix. As now the beast form now has Ultra Instinct's power, but it's still very early phase. Goku would easily overpower Granola. Once when Gas would then make his wish, the problem with this is the fact that, well, Gas would only have a few short moments to live, as when he made the wish, he would instantly start aging, as he would try to fight Goku, but it was too late, as he would then die and crumble up like how he did against Black Frieza. And thus would end this current scenario. And that is it for this. What if you guys? Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys are probably wondering why it ended so fast. Well, it's because, again, most of the events would have gone the same. It's just they're much more powerful. And to also remind some of you guys, these are 2 parts in one video. So you technically had 6 parts of this whole series. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to watch out for the movie. And let's get 20,000 subscribers. And I'll talk to you all later.